and a frantic emergency operator hears the unspeakable horror unfolding at Grandma's house.
In her in a positive way and treated her well.
Until Kraig found himself the odd man out. And Sonny had apparently enraged Kahler when she sent him this text reading in part, "She doesn't love you, Kraig."
Generations of her family wiped out in just one day.
I will miss them until the end of my days.
How does a father kill his children? Or a husband kill his wife in cold blood while they scream and beg for their life? How can a human with a heart proceed to put a bullet in the flesh of a child they held in their hands on the first day of their birth? If you can't believe this happened, keep watching to see the full story.
I don't want to die!
Who did this to you?
And with her dying breath, Lauren tells Deputy Sheriff Nathan Perling the identity of the man who shot the entire family.
James Kraig Kahler is a man convicted of a gruesome multiple murders that occurred in 2009. Born on September 12, 1964, Kahler was an American who worked as an engineer and lived in Weatherford, Texas at the time of the incident. The case gained significant attention due to the brutal nature of the crimes.
Doesn't look really very good, as you, I'm sure, can well understand. And
I messed up.
In 2009, James Kahler's life was in turmoil. That started with his wife Karen, who was being allegedly controlled by her husband James. They appeared to be the perfect family, but that image shattered when Karen's sister told the police that James was nothing but a controlling husband, who even timed their intimate affairs and punished Karen if she wasn't following the clock.
Obviously, it's the Sonny connection.
Admitting that he was hurt and angry when his wife Karen left him for another woman.
Karen and her children were dependent financially on James Kahler, but Karen wanted to be financially independent. She was very fit and took up a job in a nearby gym that offered her to be a fitness instructor. When James found out, she thought he would make a big deal out of it, but he simply didn't care as long as she did her chores on time.
I was having a hard time with the whole situation.
Kahler says he was agreeable to Karen having a relationship with Sonny in the beginning.
I said, I'm just so happy. If there's something you wanted to try, I just don't want to lose you in the process.
Soon after, Karen met Sonny Reese, who quickly became friends and grew closer than friends. She soon told her husband about her affair with a woman, and his reaction was rather calm. He wanted to be part of their sexual encounters, which puzzled Karen even more. But soon he realized his wife was completely in love with Sonny, and it made him jealous beyond measure.
It just became just a relationship that took over.
Kahler says Karen's affair with Sonny continued even after he moved the family from Texas to Missouri.
He even took up a job far away from where he and his family would live to break his wife's affair with Sonny out of jealousy. But Karen soon left James for another woman and filed for divorce. This was closer to the time the incident took place. He was going through a divorce with his wife, Karen Kahler, and was reportedly struggling with mental health issues. Karen had initiated the divorce proceedings and had started a relationship with another woman named Sonny Reese.
They were young, in love, and seemed like the perfect couple. Kraig was a top student known for his determination and talent in engineering. In the late 1980s, after graduation, they had a modest wedding attended only by close friends and family.
There were also instances of physical abuse during the time of the divorce, even when James begged for Karen to stay. Karen even told the police about the physical abuse. Soon after, Karen took the children and went on to live with her great-grandmother. Karen Kahler wrote in a petition for an ex-parte order of protection against her husband, stating that she was afraid of him and that he was controlling.
Lauren were talented in sports and music, often participating in vocal competitions and local events. Emily excelled in school and went to a prestigious pharmacy college, while Lauren, an excellent student, dreamed of attending a conservatory to pursue a career in music.
James started going downhill after the divorce proceedings, and he started stalking his ex-wife and her lover. His mental health deteriorated, and he soon spiraled. He came to the vacation house of Dorothy White, the great-grandmother of his wife, Karen, where he let his 10-year-old son Sean escape while shooting brutally at his wife, Karen, his 2 daughters, and his wife's great-grandmother, Dorothy.
Hoping that he would loosen his control and they could get back to their old life. But Kraig seemed to enjoy his control and was unwilling to change. Linda was deeply disturbed by her sister's revelations.
Kahler was sentenced to death for capital murder, 4 counts of first-degree murder, and 1 count of aggravated burglary. The 4 were killed during the Thanksgiving Day weekend in 2009 at White's Burlingame home.
He was angry when he learned that his daughters sided with their mother, saying that for the first time in a long time saw her happy. He saw this as a betrayal and refused to communicate with Emily and Lauren, only calling Sean and taking him with him on weekends.
The jury needed only about 2 hours to reach a verdict. Kahler, dressed in a dark suit, stood calmly and showed no outward emotion as the bailiff announced the verdict. Jurors will next hear additional evidence and consider whether to recommend a death sentence, weighing issues such as the cruelty involved in the shootings against Kahler's previous lack of a criminal record and his mental state at the time of the crimes. Osage County Attorney Brandon Jones asked jurors to think about the anguish the victims felt as jurors listened again to recordings of one of Kahler's daughters screaming for help as her father walked through the home.
December 2010. The defendant, who was advised by his lawyer Thomas Heaney, recanted his initial confession, blaming his actions on mental illness and insanity. It was his only option to avoid the death penalty for the murder of 4 people.
After the verdict was returned, prosecutors Hanley and Jones were pleased the Osage County jury had decided whether the death penalty was appropriate for Kahler. Chief Judge Philip Fromm will decide whether to accept the verdict, and if he didn't, the judge would change Kahler's sentence to life in prison without parole.
He watched his dad come in the back door and shoot his mom.
Before fleeing to the safety of a neighbor's home.
We all believe that, yes, absolutely, the son was intentionally spared.
In 2011, James Kraig Kahler was found guilty of capital murder for the deaths of his wife, 2 daughters, and his wife's grandmother. He was sentenced to death. The case highlighted the intersection of domestic issues, mental health, and violence, sparking discussions about the importance of recognizing and addressing mental health concerns within the legal system. If you want more gruesome and chilling murder tales, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up before you leave.